Hello, my tarot friends. Welcome back to the Moon Arrow Tarot channel. And if you are joining us for the first time, welcome in. I am very happy to have you all here today because we are getting into a review and flip through of this STARCODES Astro Oracle deck. This is one of those that's been on my wish list for a really long time. And with the sales going on last month, I finally decided to pull the trigger. And I just am so stoked to have this in my collection and to be able to pop it open and share it with you guys today. So before we get into it, I just want to put one little ask out there. If you guys are enjoying this content and if you are deriving value from it, I would really appreciate if you're able to give a like or leave a comment, share it, or even consider subscribing, because I continually put new content and information out there. And I would really love for this to have a greater reach, to get exposed to people who may be looking for insight on some of these decks if they're on the fence about it and just wanting to know more about them more personally and deeper dives into what comes along with these. So that maybe they can find their soulmate decks out there. So with that, I also want to say that I really appreciate you all being here. I am very grateful and I value the presence of my viewers. So with that, guys, like I said, I'm glad you're here. Let's get into this deck. First, we're going to talk about the packaging. This Astro Oracle comes in a nice, firm, quality cardboard box. It is a two-piece box, so it has a lid and a base. Fits together nicely. It has a really nice, smooth rose petal feel on the outside, so that's always a dream to touch. And as you can see from the outer aesthetics of the box, this thing is beautiful. Like, the artwork is incredible and so unique. And it just kind of evokes this cosmic connection with this deck. And based on the title and the overall theme, I think that hits home really well for what it is and the message that they're trying to get across to make that connection with the meanings of this Oracle deck. So talking about some of those aesthetics on the outside, starting at the top, it reads a 56 card deck and guidebook. Then it has the title of the deck, STARCODES Astro Oracle. And then at the bottom, which is a little out of the norm from what we usually see, the author's name and the illustrator's name, at least with this publisher, Hay House, is usually at the top. But this time they decided to put it at the bottom, and our creator's name is Roan Robbins, and the artwork is by Lua de Souza. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Souza. I think it's Souza. And so with our aesthetics and our artistry here, we see kind of this ethereal compass, cardinal direction, theming and imagery in the background. And we have these interconnected rings, maybe even some crescent moons here. And this rainbow, I want to say this is watercolor, because in the other background, even the deeper background, we have more of those like watercolor paint splashes and the subtle soft blending of them, which I think is just beautiful. It definitely evokes that mystical cosmic feel. On the sides of the box lid, top, bottom, left, and right, are all mirrored with the deck title, the creator's name, and of course the publisher's name, Hay House. And the same thing on top, bottom, and the right sides. Flipping this over onto the back of the base of the box, we have some information about the deck. We have some 4 card depictions from the deck, and I'll read this starting at the top for you guys. It says, "Look to the sky to see within. Tap into the powerful energy of ancient astrological archetypes and the influential relationships between celestial bodies as they move through the sky and through your life with the STARCODES Astro Oracle. This boldly illustrated 56 card deck delivers messages from the universe and deepens the reader's knowledge of astrological terminology with each draw. Learn the challenges and gifts of each card and choose an action, because no matter what your chart or the cards say, the power is truly within you." And I'll try to give a closer look here. The cards that they're depicting on the back, the one is Capricorn, then Solar Calm, the 10th house, and the Descendant card from the deck. And then we also have a mention of who designed the cover. Her name is Julie Davison. And then, of course, the cover art is our same illustrator who was mentioned on the front, Lua de Souza. And so with that, let's pop this box open. I'm going to pull the contents out so that we can continue with the inner and undersides of our boxes. So hopefully I don't have too much shadow in here for you guys. This is the inside of the boxes. We have a purple paper covering our cardboard on the inside, and each of these is depicted with this compass looking symbol, or a sundial perhaps. And the paper from the outside of our boxes is cut short there. It does not continue the whole way on the inside, but we're not left with that just plain white blank paper that usually covers the cardboard boxes. On the base box here, on the sides of it, we are seeing kind of like this pyramidal graph paper, and in the background there, it's continuing with that watercolor paint splash, that soft blending of the watercolors effect, which I think is just really nice. And then on the underside of our lid, we have these soft rainbow gradients that are going around on the bottom and continuing on the inside of our lid there. So just really nice, soft, gradual color depictions. I think are really nice with the artistry and the creativity from the illustrator there. It gives a nice feel to the deck. So let's get into our guidebook that comes along with this deck. As you'll see on the front, it is almost a mirror image of the front of our box. The only thing that is changed up now, or a couple of things I will say, is we no longer have that reiteration that it's a 56 card deck. And, this is the guidebook, so that's how it's titled at the top. And at the very bottom, we have no mention of our artist or illustrator, Lucas Lua de Souza. They still contain the author's creator's name on here. So at the top, it says Guidebook, STARCODES ASTRO Oracle. We have our same imagery, our same art and aesthetics. This is a really nice, thickly bound book, good quality, solid construction. On our spine, we have the name of the deck, that it's a guidebook. We have our creator's name and, of course, our publisher's name again. And then on the back of the book, it looks like I did read into this before, and it looks like we have the exact same verbiage as we do on the back of the box. So I'm going to hold this up for you guys. I won't read it again, but it starts out the same, it ends the same. It is the exact same verbiage. The only thing different that we're seeing on the back of the guidebook is now kind of an introduction to our creator, and I will read that out for you guys. So we have a picture of Heather Roan Robbins here on the side, and beside her it reads, "She is a ceremonialist and practical, intuitive, choice-oriented astrologer and palmist with over 40 years experience. She has an active online astrology practice, writes a weekly astrological column called StarCodes, and is the author of Moon, Wisdom, and Everyday Palmistry. Learn more at rowanrobbins.com. And as usual, that link is in the description below for you guys if you're interested in seeking out more of Heather's works, or you just want to know more about her. So in the description below. And then at the bottom, it also says that the cover design, so the cover design for the book is done by Nick C. Welch, and the cover illustrations that's where we have our mention of Lucas Lua de Souza, our illustrator for the entire deck. So let's get into a little bit about this guidebook. The first thing we come across, it does have our table of contents pages here, and that breaks down into our introduction, how to use the Oracle deck, and a little background on some basic astrology, it looks like. And then there's a section, I guess the next major section in the book, which they call messages, and I think that's their equivalent of the interpretations of the individual cards. And those are broken down into sections too. So the first one is lenses. And the lenses section includes signs, qualities, solar activity, celestial characters is our next section. Okay, so we have celestial characters, and that breaks down into luminaries, planets, asteroids, and lunar nodes. And then the third section is locations, which includes cardinal points and houses. And then it looks like the last one is patterns, and that has the supportive aspects, challenging aspects, and changing states. And one thing I will point out with our table of contents, This is breaking it down for super easy navigation. Every single card in the deck has its page laid out here. So whatever it is that you're trying to find, it lends for easy navigation that you can turn directly to that card in the book. So at the very end, forgot to mention this, at the end of the book, they have their acknowledgements, and then they also have bios on the illustrator and the author. And then here we have our introduction, and I will go through and read this for you guys. Welcome, Seeker. STARCODES Astro Oracle invites you to step into astrology's powerful archetypes and let them speak to you and help you navigate this moment. If you are already a pro astrologer, you can simply listen to the cards, but you don't need to know a thing about astrology to use this intuitive deck. The images speak for themselves, and this book offers detailed information and seed concepts to contemplate. As you use these cards, you will become familiar with the key component of this ancient science, the astrological vocabulary. Your understanding of each symbol will naturally deepen, and your readings will become richer. Should you ever want to study astrological charts, you'll already be friends with the terms, concepts, and relationships between signs. Heather Roan Robbins. And then we go into how to use the oracle specifically. Looks like some tips on doing each reading. The spectrum, talking about signs, aspects, houses, planets, and symbolic ingredients, and some helpful reading methods. And then they include some spreads here, the astrological sentence and the dial. And then giving some background information on astrology. And then I think after that is when, it gets into the individual card interpretations. And so after we do the flip through, I will pull a card out so that you, and we'll look it up in the book, so that you guys can get a feel for how that card's interpretation and messages are broken down and rendered in the book for you guys. And then, like I said, in the back, we have that information about the author and the artist. And they do include in here the artist's information. They have their Instagram and their website. So that is also in the description for you guys, along with the author's website, in case you are looking to seek more of their creations and their works. If they've done any other decks or just any other artistry, you guys can find that out. So I think that we are ready to get into this amazing and beautiful deck. Let's talk about some of the components of these cards and their integrity. The cards have that standard good thickness. I imagine this is probably a 350 GSM card stock. Has a nice pliability, but does not feel cheap by any means. It is finished with a smooth matte, no high gloss here, but this finish also allows for nice, easy shuffling for anybody's style. I know hand over hand, corgi shufflers that fan them out, and our riffle shufflers. Everybody can rejoice here. This is an all user-friendly finish for all types of shufflers. The size of our deck, pretty standard for the oracles. It's that kind of blocky, boxy, chunky, hardy style. And holding it widthwise with my small hands and lengthwise for you guys. Can't quite fit my hands around the whole deck. And we'll take a couple of them out here so you can get a better idea on the riffle shuffle. And then we'll talk about card manipulation and holding shape. So you can see that they definitely do hold that shape. For riffle shufflers, they will contain that bend in them over time, if that's a deal breaker, it's important for you to know. But as you can see, they do self-correct with a little bit of pressure there, gentle pressure. They self-correct pretty well. I may have been a little too hard on them there. All right. The other thing that I would like to note, there's no gilded edge here, and so you just have that raw white edge. Also, because it is a full bleed imagery on the card edge to edge, you'll have some of those colors. It may be really difficult to see in my lighting. We have a dreary day here in the Pacific Northwest, so I am working with minimal natural light. but you can kind of see some of the design coming through on the edge of the cards. That doesn't really bother me. I know there's a lot of people out there that will kind of do that, their own self gilding, I guess, or edging. I've never done that with cards because I'm always afraid it's eventually going to rub off on my hands, but you could do that here if that's those colors and designs peeking out kind of bothers you. And the last thing I did not get a chance to do, but for my overhand shufflers, pretty smooth. Let me grab a couple more here. Pretty good, easy, smooth shuffle. Just as I've said before in other videos, you just need to get the air in between the cards from when they're brand new, and then they will just start to glide very nicely with one another. And they'll flow pretty well. Okay, with that, I think we're good to go with our walkthrough here. And I'll try to give you guys some time in between, because there's a lot of imagery and symbolism in these cards as well. There was another review I did on the Tree of Life Oracle, and so I'd like to kind of repeat that. I'll go through each card so that you guys can see, and then I'll hold a little bit of space. I'll denote the number, the name, and they also include a keyword for the card, but I'll let you guys kind of sort out some of that, explore some of that imagery for yourself. So number 1 with Aries and Act. And card number 2 with Taurus and Cultivate. We have number 3 with Gemini and Cross-Pollinate. And number 4 with Cancer and Immerse. We have number 5 with Leo and Shine. Number 6 with Virgo and Digest. And number 7 with Libra and Balance. Number 8 with Scorpio and Investigate. And number 9 for Sagittarius with Expand. Number 10 for Capricorn with Achieve. Number 11 for Aquarius with Collaborate. And number 12 with Pisces and Sensitize. And so that rounds out our zodiac cards in the deck. And I think a lot of the keywords that they chose for those cards are quite apt for the sign that they're depicting. So we go into number 13, which is Dignified, symbolizing strength. And then 14 is Debilitated, signifying discomfort. Next is 15 with Retrograde and Review. And then we have 16 with Solar Calm and Clarify. This is such a beautiful card. I love those rainbow gradients in the background. Definitely does emit that calm and soothing feel to it. Next is 17 with Solar Flares and Activate. And then we have 18, the Sun with Source. What a beautiful card. So vibrant. Definitely feel a lot of happiness and radiating energy from this card. Next is 19 with the Moon and Perception. And then on the flip side, this one is just coming across very dreamy and deep and ethereal. And then we have number 20 with Mercury and Messages. 21 is Venus with Beloved. And then we have Mars, number 22 with Motion. Next is 23 with Jupiter and Abundance. Now we have 24 and Saturn with structure. And 25 with Uranus and change. Next is number 26 with Neptune and vision. Very cold looking card. Next is 27 with Pluto and rebirth. I really like the background there. You can really see that watercolor effect punctuated in this card. Number 28 is Chiron with heal. And number 29 is Seers with nurture. And number 30 is Pallas Athena with think. Next we have 31 with Juno and partnership. That's a lovely depiction on that card. And number 32 with Vesta and hearth. I love that background. It's beautiful. And moving into number 33, the South Node with past. And number 34 is next with the North Node and future. We have number 35, the Ascendant with entrance. Really nice blending of color palette there. Number 36 is Midheaven with Pinnacle. And we have number 37, the Descendant with Invitation. An equally beautiful color palette on that as well. And number 38, Imam Coli with Root, or Imam Coli, I think. Nice soothing blues in there. The artist has done really well, in my opinion, with the fusion of colors in each card, and just the color palette overall in this deck is gorgeous. Very well done. We have the 39th card with the first house of Arrival. And next is the second house, card number 40 with Resources. Card number 41 in the third house of Communication. Card number 42, the fourth house with Home. And our fifth house of Passion is card number 43. Number 44, the sixth house with Sustainability. Love that one. The seventh house of Relationship, number 45. Number 46, the eighth house of Mystery. Another beautiful card. Number 47, the ninth house of Exploration. And the 10th house with Authority, number 48. Card 49, the 11th house of Community. And card number 50, the 12th house of Introspection. Number 51 is Conjunction with Alliance. Number 52 is Trine Sextile with Symbiosis. Number 53 is Opposition with Confrontation. Number 54 is Square, Semi-Square, Quincunx with Tension. Number 55 is Transits with Climate. And lastly, we have number 56 with progressions and journey. And so with that, everyone, I am going to just do maybe a quick little shuffle here, and then we will get a card pulling out of here. Or not. Then let's go with our bottom of the deck. We've got Aquarius, card number 2 with collaborate. So let's dive into the book and find the entry for Aquarius. And so we've got page 38. And I just, like I said earlier, I love how they make it so easy to navigate the card. And as a side note, while they do not have any pictorial renditions of the cards in here, no visual imagery, I think that size-wise, the book is kind of nice that you can kind of stuff it in there so that you can continuously reference that card as you're breaking it down and reading the interpretation of it. So that's kind of nice. I think that makes up for not having that pictorial image in there of the cards. And I know it does save space and money on the printing. So I will read this card and then we can see how this kind of breaks down and the meaning is rendered in the book for you guys. For each entry, it starts out with the number of the card, the name of the card at the top, and then that keyword that they include on the card. So we have Aquarius, collaborate. The symbol for Aquarius is not water, but the water bearer, the person fetching, carrying, and pouring the water, who provides a great service to the community. Aquarius is ruled by Saturn in traditional astrology, co-ruled by Uranus in modern astrology, and is connected to the ankles, which we use to turn from one person to another in conversation. The sun shines through Aquarius January 21st through February 20th. That is, I know for some, or depending on your source, you know, that can shift from a couple of days here and there. So some will say that it's February 18th. So kind of whatever you're familiar with, I think, you know, stick with what you know, what you feel comfortable with date-wise. But this is the entry for the book. There's another section here. They break it into what's called action, and this reads, live by your philosophy. Aquarius's traditional ruler Saturn asks us to know what society expects of us and to care about our reputation. However, Aquarius's co-ruler Uranus encourages us to free ourselves from tradition or others' opinions and be able to think outside the box. Yes, this can feel like a paradox, but it offers a healthy tension to manifest the true you. Know the pattern and riff on it with your own invention. To get to this free place, investigate your philosophy, which is your operating manual, to make sure it's alive and authentic when you feel your worldview and your actions are integrated. It is easier to call in healthy collaborators. Cultivate allies. Find others called by the same causes and work together. Weave people together to create community. This web will bring in new friendships, purpose, and connections, which may lead to romantic sparks. Throughout the process, consciously maintain a balance between your own needs and those of the collective. Now, the next section here is challenge, and I believe the challenge section is meant so that you can read these cards in reverse, as the backs of our cards are a fully reversible rendition artistry so that the cards can be interpreted upright or reversed. That doesn't mean that you have to read them that way. If you wanted to just stick with upright interpretations, have at it. So I will go into the challenge meaning for you guys, or the reversal interpretation. That one reads, spiritual practice and personal philosophy can be used to bypass authentic emotions. So be honest with yourself and don't try to talk yourself into feelings you think you should have or onto a path that others find more socially acceptable. If your philosophy clashes with your honest feelings, then your philosophy needs to evolve. If your lifestyle is not in line with your philosophy, then one or both need to change. And then the last section or breakdown of the card is titled Gift, and that one reads, the authentic Aquarius gift encourages you to let go of previous constructs and listen to the source within. Honor the reality that you are a unique individual, but you also have a responsibility to contribute to the health of your community. And so that is the Aquarius entry for the STARCODES ASTRO Oracle. And just to give you guys, a little peek into how the cards read, how the guidebook works, and our flip through, so that you guys get a sneak peek of all of the visuals and the artistry from Lucas Lua de Souza. So again, this is the STARCODES Astro Oracle by Heather Roan Robbins. I have the websites available in the description for you guys of the artist and the author, if you are interested in looking, seeking out more of the works by those people. And with that, guys, I think this wraps up our review of this oracle and our flip through. If you guys enjoyed this review, please consider a like, a thumbs up, subscribing, clicking the notification bell, because I continuously come out with reviews. And if you haven't seen it or you are new here, I also do post kind of these micro capsule tarot readings every Sunday, and I plan to consistently have my reviews coming out every Tuesday and Thursday. So if you are interested and don't want to miss out on those, please consider subscribing. And with that, guys, I appreciate you all being here, going through this review with me. I really hope you enjoyed it and got something out of it, and I hope that you can share it with others. So I hope that you all have a very blessed and fulfilling and abundant day, and that you go out and spread love and kindness to the rest of the world. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next review. Bye-bye.